Welcome, friend, to the Secure Dad Podcast. I'm Andy Murphy, the creator of the Secure Dad. This podcast serves to help families become proactive in their safety. The information I share on this podcast is for general information purposes only. My goal is to empower you to make safer decisions for yourself and your family. Today we're going to discuss a vast topic about what the internet really knows about you. I'll tell you where to look and what you can do to remove some of your information as we dive into open source intelligence. All of that and more ahead on the Secure Dad Podcast. Before we get going, I want you to know the amount of open source intelligence out there about us is really too much for me to cover in one show. I know that's a great thought, right? That's why I created the Secure Dad Guide to OSINT for Parents. You can get this guide for free in the link in today's show notes or at thesecuredad.com/tools. So listen to the show and then grab the download for an even deeper dive into how we can better protect our family. Plus, it's just good to have all this information in one place. So make sure to download the Secure Dad's Guide to OSINT for Parents after the show. As we get started, you are probably asking yourself, what is open source intelligence and why should I, as the average person, care about this? While this does sound like something you would hear on Bird Notice, it's actually something real that we all need to be aware of. There are tons of places that people can go and find out information about us and our kids that we would rather them not know. Open source intelligence is commonly defined as the data and information that is available to the general public. You often see it abbreviated as OSINT online. That's OSINT. OSINT is information that is contained on the surface web. Now let's remember that the surface web is the level of the internet that anyone can access. This is websites like Google, social media, and the general places that we all go to stalk the new guy at work. We all kind of know where this information is found. But we're not spies, right? So why do we need to care about this information that's out there about us? We're the law-abiding citizens, after all. Well, I'll tell it to you like this. By knowing the information that is openly available about us and our kids, we will raise our security awareness to protect our families. If we can know what other people can find out about us, we can be ready to stop scammers, thieves, and creeps. So here are the 10 most common pieces of information that people can find out about us with just a few clicks. Your home address, phone numbers, mobile and home, email addresses, IP addresses, photos and videos, social media accounts, company profiles, Amazon shopping lists, court records, and real estate transactions and listings. For a more comprehensive list of this, go check out the Secure Dad's Guide to OSINT for Families. It's a bigger list that's there. So how do people get this kind of information about us and who's posting it online? Most of this information comes from data brokers. In simple terms, these are websites that legally buy your information from third parties and compile them together to create enough information for someone to profile you without ever laying eyes on you. This is where people search sites compile their information on us. For just a few dollars, people search sites will give you a ton of information on a person in just a few clicks. I really don't like these kind of sites, but they are legal and they have information that's legal to sell. A good example of this can be found at whitepages.com. They actually give you a pretty good overview of what to look for on their website and how you can get it. To take a look, go to whitepages.com/person. But these sites also offer an opt-out, meaning that you can tell this company to remove your information for free, so I highly recommend that you do that. Now, there are tons of these search sites out there, and their opt-out process is different for each one, and then there's state laws that get involved, so it's all convoluted. But there are companies that will remove that information for you for a price. This might be money well spent for you. One such company that you want to check out is Delete Me. They remove information like this from sites and continue to monitor them year-round. While data brokers are trouble enough, the best source of information about you online comes from social media. Yeah, that's right. We are telling on ourselves. We are self-reporting on where we are, who we're with, where we work, and the places that we frequent. It's like when Preston Hawker told us in his interview about being a private investigator, it's like some people want to be found when they post on social media. So here are some questions I want you to ask yourself before you post online again. First, is what I'm sharing too personal? Second, could someone figure out where I live with this post? Third, am I sharing too much about my children? 4, will this post age well? And finally, does anyone really care? I know I think about that one a lot, and I think it would help many of us feel better if we just kept our personal feelings, well, personal. Now, you might have Facebook and Instagram accounts, and they are locked down. That's good. Nobody else can see them. They're all private. Okay, perfect. But what about your professional LinkedIn account? People overlooked LinkedIn all the time because they're not really the fun social media platform. There, I said it. We were all thinking it. On LinkedIn, people try to give as much information as possible about themselves to appeal to recruiters. But the downside is that we're giving away a lot of personal information to anybody. So do an audit of your LinkedIn account and ask yourself if you're giving away too much information. But there is some information out there about us that we can't do anything about, and that's what the U.S. government has deemed public information. Generally, we can't ask the federal and local government to remove our public records. And just because your county might not have a great online database, public records are still accessible in person at government offices. This means as much as we may try, we can't completely remove all of our public information from the internet. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that open source intelligence is also found offline as well. And you know I don't like to be remiss. But what we do in public and the conclusions drawn from those actions are also open source intelligence. So really all of the things that I've been coaching you on since 2016 as part of personal safety is actually part of the broad spectrum of open source intelligence. We're talking about saving your vacation pictures for social media until you get back home, not leaving your phone unattended at a restaurant, making sure that your garage door is down when you're away from home. I'm guilty of that one. We just need to keep in mind that what we do can be used as information about us and our families. Open source intelligence really is a very broad topic. Trust me, you can really go down the rabbit hole on this one. For a better understanding, I want you to download the Secure Dad's Guide to OSINT for Parents. In this guide, you'll find a lot more information on what's out there about you. This will help you get your mind around what to do next. Plus, in this guide, I make some very compelling points about what we should do as parents to protect the future of our kids. Well, that's all the time we have for the Secure Dad podcast today. Thank you, friend, for listening. Now that you've heard the show, go download the Secure Dad Guide to OSINT. You can get it for free at the link in today's show notes or by going to thesecuredad.com/tools. A special thanks to Tom Eston and William Echo for helping me gain a deeper understanding of the topic of today's episode. Don't forget to follow The Secure Dad wherever you're listening to the show. That way you don't miss a single episode. Just tap the follow button and stay in the know. I'm Andy Murphy, and until next time, take care and be secure, online and off.